If you recently walked into an esoteric shop and bought a piece of black obsidian because some internet guru told you it is a gentle amulet to protect your energy from your hostile boss, envious neighbors, or toxic relatives, you have unknowingly invited a destructive storm into your life. Let us look at the hard, uncompromised nature of this material. Obsidian is not a crystal. It possesses absolutely no internal crystalline lattice, no order, no symmetry. It is volcanic glass. It is the raw, molten material of primeval chaos, frozen mid-flight under immense, violent tectonic pressure. It is a stone born from the Earth's scream. Go to any mainstream spiritual website, open any popular book on crystals, and you will see the same repetitive claims. They will tell you that black obsidian is the ultimate shield. They claim it is a powerful weapon against the evil eye, generational curses, deliberate corruption of your fate, and energy vampires who drain your vitality in crowded rooms. People love these claims because human beings naturally look for cheap shortcuts. They want a magical bodyguard. They want a stone that will act like a passive wall to block all external negativity while they remain perfectly safe and unchanged behind it. But obsidian does not build a perimeter wall around your life. It does exactly the opposite. It builds a black, perfectly reflective mirror directly in front of your face. It triggers an uncompromised, ruthless confrontation with what Carl Jung defined as the shadow, the hidden, buried, and darkest parts of your own soul. Today, we are performing a deep structural autopsy on the heavy spiritual cost of carrying this stone, the exact mechanics of inner breakdown, and why this volcanic glass can turn an ordinary person into an isolated, paranoid tyrant if they do not understand the terrifying forces they are playing with. If you value deep, independent, structured knowledge that looks under the hood of reality without illusions and sugarcoating, take a moment right now to subscribe to this channel and leave a solid like on this video. This broadcast is part of an interconnected blueprint for reality management. This episode is non-severable from our previous breakdowns on heavy catalysts like moldavite and high-frequency filters like labradorite. If you have not watched those broadcasts yet, your foundation is fragmented. Subscribe, anchor your awareness, and let us look deep into the dark matrix of the volcanic glass. Let us evaluate why obsidian behaves this way under the hood. Because it completely lacks an organized internal structure, it cannot emit a steady, harmonizing, or soothing frequency. Instead, it acts as a cosmic vacuum. It creates a zone of absolute emptiness that violently sucks in and strips away whatever is hidden beneath the surface of your environment. Think about how you survive in this chaotic world. You survive through suppression. To operate effectively in your family, your job, or your society, you must suppress your raw anger, your deep-seated insecurities, your dark desires, your jealousy, and your primal survival anxieties. You lock them in the deepest, darkest basement of your subconscious mind, put on the polished, pleasant mask of a civilized person, and walk out into the world. When you introduce black obsidian into your immediate personal field, its vacuum engine activates. It does not give a damn about the external negativity of your enemies. It does not look outward, it looks inward. It punches a hole straight into your basement and drags your own suppressed garbage up into your conscious mind. It forces an unyielding, terrifying audit of your life. Every bit of hidden passive aggression, every unhealed emotional trauma from your childhood, and every ounce of your hidden malice is pulled into the light. If your psychological foundation is brittle, if you are not properly grounded, this process will not lead to peace. It will break your spirit. It will lead to absolute clinical paranoia. You will look at the world through the distorted lens of your own unhealed wounds. And you must understand that the universe processes different variants of this stone through different spectral frequencies, and each works with a different layer of your darkness. First, there is pure black obsidian. This is the rawest, most unforgiving vacuum. It is a black hole for illusions. If you carry this stone while your inner alignment is weak, it will rip away your psychological defense mechanisms so fast that you will find yourself in a state of permanent anxiety and existential dread, unable to trust anyone around you. Second, let us look at Sheen obsidian, specifically gold sheen and silver sheen. These stones have tiny gas bubbles trapped in the layers of glass, creating a metallic glow. Gold sheen targets your ego, your pride, and your willpower. It exposes your hidden greed, your obsession with control, and your deep, secret fears of poverty. Silver Sheen targets your intellect, forcing you to see exactly how you lie to yourself and how you try to manipulate others through your words. Third, there is Rainbow Obsidian. This is a slightly gentler architecture. It holds deep internal layers of iridescent colors. It acts as an emotional bridge, slowly bringing old, buried grief, heartbreak, and sadness to the surface so it can be processed rather than exploding all at once. Finally, we have Snowflake Obsidian, with white, cloud-like inclusions. This is the stone of total isolation. It forces you to see your life in rigid black and white, stripping away all comfortable gray areas, justifications, and compromises. It forces you to see your reality exactly as it is, without the anesthesia of lies. Let us look at a concrete example of how this destructive mechanism manifests in everyday life. A man in his late 30s came to me for a consultation. He was a highly successful manager, running a large department in a competitive corporate company. The environment around him was fiercely competitive. He was facing constant pressure from his executives, and his colleagues were actively trying to undermine his authority, to take his position and his funding. Desperate to protect his position and reading the popular advice online, he decided that he needed a powerful defense. He went out, bought a massive, highly polished black obsidian sphere, and placed it directly on his office desk, right next to his chair. He expected a protective shield. He thought he had bought a spiritual bodyguard that would absorb the envy and malice of his rivals. What he actually triggered was a complete personal and professional meltdown. Within the first 2 weeks, the obsidian vacuum began dragging his deepest, most aggressive subconscious defense mechanisms to the surface. His natural management style, which used to be firm but fair, shifted into hyper-vigilant tyranny. He began every single working morning with absolute suspicion. He viewed his employees not as team members, but as potential traitors who were secretly plotting to sabotage his projects. Because the black sphere on his desk was constantly reflecting his own unmapped fears of betrayal back into his mind, he completely lost the ability to read situations clearly. If his superiors suggested a minor change in his strategy, he did not see a standard business adjustment. He saw in it a direct conspiracy against himself. Within 3 months, this man completely scorched his entire life. He alienated his closest friends, drove his most talented employees to resign, and locked himself into a state of total, agonizing isolation. He thought he was fighting external energy vampires, portents of bad luck, and spiritual attacks. In reality, he was drowning in the unmanaged output of his own dark shadow, amplified by the volcanic glass on his desk. He stopped sleeping. His face turned an exhausted, sickly gray. He became so consumed by internal ghosts and suspicion that he became completely non-functional. He eventually collapsed from severe mental burnout and was quietly dismissed from his position with a ruined reputation. He built a fortress of paranoia to protect himself from imaginary enemies, and he accidentally suffocated inside it. He forgot the golden rule: you cannot fight external darkness if you are blind to the darkness within yourself. This failure demonstrates the absolute danger of playing with heavy metaphysical tools without understanding their mechanics. You cannot deploy a tool of total inner destruction and expect it to maintain peace and harmony in your daily life. Obsidian demands absolute, terrifying honesty. If you are not actively doing deep, painful inner work, carrying this stone will simply crack your mask and expose your raw, bleeding vulnerabilities to a predatory world that will gladly tear you apart. Yes, in our upcoming broadcasts, we are going to deeply analyze what people call the evil eye, corruption, curses, and energetic vampirism. We will strip away the superstition and look at the actual laws of how human energy fields interact, attack, and drain each other. But remember this: no external attack can destroy you unless there is a matching weakness inside your own fort, and Obsidian does not stop the attack, it shows you the weakness. Here is the architect's strict protocol for Obsidian if you choose to run this heavy diagnostic program safely. First, never keep Obsidian in your primary workspace, on your office desk, or in your bedroom. The workspace requires a strategic mask and diplomatic navigation. Do not bring a subconscious vacuum into a room where you need to cooperate with others. And your bedroom is a space for deep, peaceful rest. If you sleep next to Obsidian, your mind will fight heavy battles all night, and you will wake up more exhausted than when you lay down. Second, limit your exposure down to the hour. Treat Obsidian like a heavy surgical tool. You do not carry a scalpel in your pocket all day long. You use Obsidian exclusively during isolated, deliberate moments of deep self-reflection, honest confession with yourself, or intense meditation. Hold the stone, close your eyes, and let its vacuum show you where your hidden fears, your pride, your jealousy, and your weaknesses are lying to you. Face that darkness, accept it, write down what you have learned about your true self, and then immediately remove the stone from your field. Wash it in cold running water, wrap it in a dark cloth, and put it away. True authority in this life does not come from looking for a magical armor to hide behind. It comes from having zero, unmapped, hidden territory inside your own mind. If you don't know your own dark corners, the world will eventually find them and use them against you. If you found real value in this raw, unfiltered breakdown, share this video right now with someone who needs to hear this truth. Post it in your groups, send it to your friends, and let us clean up the spiritual space from dangerous illusions together. Look at your life today. Are you strong enough to face your own black mirror, or do you still need to build your strength with gentler stones? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single observation. Stay sharp, keep your boundaries clean, and I will see you in the next architectural breakdown.